welcome to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. We are 2 out of 3 brothers watching movies through a rainbow lens. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. Like the T-shirt.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
My favourite one.
This is my favourite one.
Video Easy.
Video Easy.
We were more a blockbuster family, but anyway.
We were, and we've talked about that. But I've also, people ask me if I worked there, and that's how I got the T-shirt. I'm like, no, I didn't. I just like retro, and I'm a millennial, so this is memories of much better times. We have a guest tonight, which is very exciting, but we're going to have a little bit of a drink before we do. Standard.
We're back with our old favourite.
This is going to be just each week people are going to tune in and try to guess which hard-rated.
Hard-rated.
This week we have hard-rated lemon lime, no sugar.
Yes, we do. Oh, that's good.
Cheers.
Cheers. My friend was convinced that there was lemon, no sugar.
There is.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's grayer on the can.
That's not the strong one.
No.
Wow. Liam, if you're listening, I apologise. I think you were right.
The middle brother wants lemon lime with sugar.
Nope.
He thinks this needs to be sweeter. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We are here to chat to Leigh Smith, who we met recently at the Pride Short Film Festival, as we watched their short film Sacrifice. So Leigh is a bit of an all-rounder with film. Started with an internship at Walt Disney in Florida. Not, a little office on the outskirts of Melbourne, the proper one, in the States, and then continued at the Australian Film and Television Academy. Now works as a casting director, has directed and starred in and wrote the short film Sacrifice that we watched at the Pride Short Film Festival recently. We will talk a bit more about that as we get into it. And as we're recording this, tomorrow is his birthday. So welcome, Leigh, and happy birthday.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Oh, of course. You're most welcome. So, yes, happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to have a birthday drink with us?
Yes, I've got just a vodka lime soda standard, but
we kind of do too. Cheers.
You do not.
Cheers. You used to have the same thing. It's similar.
Vodka, and there's lime in it.
Yeah. Vein. It's in the same family.
No sugar.
Distant cousins.
And no sugar.
No sugar, exactly.
So, we're conscious of the calories as we drink on
That's it.
On what we're recording is a school night, but that's fine. That's fine. So
I won't tell anyone, I promise.
Yes, thank you. So Leigh, as I said in your introduction, a bit of a jack of all movie trades. What got you into making film?
So it was actually, as you guys were just saying, it was Disney actually that pushed me over the threshold, as they say. So I had done things as a kid, more theatre based, and it really wasn't my thing. I wasn't really too interested in it. And then I actually went to, out of all things, law school for 2.5 years, and absolutely hated it. I decided I needed a change, and I thought, well, I'm just going to run away to the circus. No, I ran off to Disney World.
I feel like that's the modern equivalent of running away to the circus.
I think so.
Running away to film.
I was going to say, I don't think there'd be a lot of differences between the two, really. Like it was hard work. It was, minimal benefits, but it was the ability to, when you really think about it, it was the ability to learn from, the leaders of the entertainment industry and seeing the impact that this kind of, for lack of a better word, world had on people. And so when I came home, I had decided to get into performing, and I did a course at the Television Film Academy, which was great. And what I loved about it the most is it wasn't a school that was run by hardcore kind of, method training. It was very real. It was very humanistic. It was very using the human way of being to create characters and stuff. And then from there, I just kind of I finished that, and then I really didn't know where to go from, and then went back to the States, and I went back and forth, and I was very lucky to kind of then start running competitions and conventions between LA and New York and Melbourne, and for a number of years I worked with young performers and did the whole. I went to school in LA, which was amazing, through the Groundlings, which is basically the training ground for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So that was incredible to kind of be in the classrooms and the hallways of the biggest of comedy. And then my friend said to me, "Right, you need to write." She goes, "I don't know what it is, but I need you to start writing." So the first thing I wrote was Sacrifice, the short. But yeah, it was just that love of performing and seeing the effect that it had on people. I don't think that when you get a kind of a taste for it, I think it's kind of the most addictive thing out there. You connect with people, and especially with young kids and teenagers and stuff, through teaching and mentoring. I think that is probably, as much as I love performing and writing and creating, I do think that one of the greatest things that I've done has been able to mentor and work with young performers. And now seeing them do, one of my girls was, the lead in Jagged Little Pill, the Alanis Morissette musical.
Yeah,
I've got a young guy now who's about 18, 19, but I had him when he was 12, 13 in my class, and he only wanted to model, but he's over there now. He's in, he jumps, every kind of couple of weeks between Milan, Paris and London, and he's doing that. So I still think that that's the greatest kind of connection you have. And then obviously, telling the stories that I finally want to tell. I remember a teacher said to me at the end, "You've got no hope here, so you better get to America and do it." So, times have changed, but I think now more than ever, it's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said
to be in.
you said you did some theatre stuff, but chose film, and theatre wasn't for you.
Yeah.
What was the difference that led you over to film rather than the stage?
I think for me, the theatre, I mean, as I said, I was a kid when I did the theatre stuff. Theatre is just it's very raw, but it's also very, tapping into a huge energy and a huge presence. Whereas when you're doing film, you're able to be more, inside your own skin and be more real. And I think that, there's one thing that I disagree with when people say, "Oh, there's no difference between, theatre and film." A lot of people say that. And that's something that I've always kind of never felt, even with, training, when I was training for the camera as opposed to the Groundlings training. Groundlings is theatre based. So that was a lot more fun for me to do once I got to that point, because I was used to the camera, but still it was a different thing. So theatre just, the camera just allows you to kind of tap into a kind of more of a deeper energy, I feel, than theatre does. And I think it's just everyone's got a preference. I mean, theatre's fun when you're doing, those big kind of fun plays and that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely camera, film for me, for sure.
Yeah, and I think we've had people on here before, that filmmakers, and just say they're film. Well, they're both very collaborative things, but the difference kind of being that film, you can get more up close with people, because they said, in physically in a theatre there is that distance between yourself and the audience, and you can play around a bit more with film to get, feel like you're more with the people on screen.
Yeah. And I guess it allows you to show even, emotions and moments a little bit more closely. Because like you said, everything needs to be a little bit bigger on the stage, because you are one person on a stage and I might be in the back row of the balcony. And I have to kind of get everything out of you across that distance, rather than, being able to have a close up or show something particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in the Sister Act where she does that. I'm in the back straining to hear you.
Yeah.
That moment in Sister Act where
Yeah.
she's explaining to the nuns.
Yeah.
So it reminds
That's
me of every time.
Third, fourth episode in a row Sister Act's been mentioned.
I mean, it's
Ah,
iconic.
I mean,
We're
it's
gonna need to
At
watch it.
least Sister Act or Sister Act 2.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to watch one of them very soon, I think.
yeah.
Speaking of specific films, is there anything that comes to mind if I said favorite film?
Yes, I kind of touched on it before. Actually, we had our little pre-discussion. Titanic.
Right.
Yep.
It has always been. I know it's cliche for a lot of reasons, but it is. I think that I was 12 or 13 when that movie came out, and I think for me, one of the not jokes I made, but one of the things I always say about Sacrifice is they're like, I did an interview once about Sacrifice, and they kind of said, "Oh, so why did you, decide to go down this heavy, dramatic kind of vein?" I said, "Oh, it's for a lot of people, the military and all that." But I said it's also for, all those little, teenage boys and stuff who went to see Titanic and fell in love with it, but thought, yeah, Kate Winslet's not really the one that's, doing it for me. It's more. So, those kind of. I mean, we never had anything like that. But Titanic had obviously for a number of reasons. I mean, the composer James Horner was incredible, and his score in that, the story, and I think when you look at it now, you think, oh, the story is so over the top that it just for some reason it worked.
Yeah.
I think it's a real kind of modern epic. And that kind of is, that is now James Cameron's thing. And the epicness of the bit of the over-the-top story, James Horner's score is obviously very epic. The size of the ship itself is epic.
Yeah.
And I think, that epicness at the time wasn't something that we had seen in theatres. Certainly something, people of our age hadn't seen in theatres. To then see that so big on such a big screen at, a length that required 2 VHS tapes to watch, was huge.
Still remember the exact point when you had to change tapes.
Yeah.
Like the exact moment.
It's like when we watch movies now, and we had so many movies on VHS that we recorded off the TV that I can still remember go, and that's when it went to an ad
break.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be like, and that's when Sandra Sully came on for the news break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what did we do somewhat recently? Speed, which I think I watched the VHS recorded off Channel 10. I don't know how many times. And I remember going, that's ad break. Yeah.
But even like once you've recorded something off the TV, and, we being millennials did that a lot. And then watching it later on the Blu-ray or the streaming now, it's like, oh, that swear word wasn't in the TV version that we'd recorded as kids.
Yeah, they cut it. Yeah.
Yeah, all those little bits of censorship. I think it's interesting that you said Titanic and, admitted to the kind of cliche of it, because Cortex did a similar thing when we interviewed them. And their favorite movie was, something big that kind of everybody says is their favorite movie. And I find it really interesting that something that is so mass appeal and mass market appeals to a filmmaker, but obviously does on a bit of a different level to how it might appeal to the general audience.
Yeah. I think it's just, you get some of Titanic's probably, the one that always comes to mind. But, Perks of Being a Wallflower is something that I always find, I think, a great comfort in. There's those movies, that we go to when we just want a feeling of security and comfort. And, for me, it's things like Perks of Being a Wallflower as well, The Help. I love those kind of, performances and things like that. But absolutely, I think Titanic is just, it was, as you said, for its day, it was groundbreaking, and
Yeah.
it was
It was such a
and
moment. Like everybody knew Titanic.
Yep.
Everybody went and saw it. I'm pretty like, you know, at least once.
It won all the Oscars.
Won all the Oscars. The song.
Well, all the
I
Oscars.
mean, like, come on.
Celine. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that tin whistle.
I mean, it was the number one. It was the number one selling soundtrack for so long, and it had one song.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and the people listening to instrumental.
Yeah.
But even we rewatched it last year, I think, for Two Drink Cinema, and it's one, because it's so epic and there's so much in it, that only on this recent rewatch did I realize that so much of the underscoring that James Horn has put in is variations on the themes from My Heart Will Go On. Yeah, and that's just done so well as a build-up to that moment.
Absolutely. Well, he never wanted obviously we all know the story, he never wanted a song with lyrics in it, James Cameron, and James Horner just took a chance, and he was like, yeah, well, how can you argue with that, when he heard Celine do it? So
yeah, exactly.
But also,
was it originally not meant to be her as well?
She didn't want to do it.
Right.
She didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and then people were like, nah, do it. She's like, oh, fuck, all right. Just walked into the studio, did one take and walked out.
And then started counting her money.
Yeah, then counted her money.
Exactly.
Won the Oscar, highest-selling soundtrack. And possibly somewhat unfortunately, whenever anyone mentions Celine Dion, that's the song that they think of.
She's always remembered for.
Yeah. Didn't know she could play the tin whistle that well, though.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So favorite film, I guess we covered off all of that. Is there any filmmakers, creators, directors, writers that particularly inspired you to do stuff yourself?
So I think from my style, I mean, I've always loved, and another filmmaker that I love is Tim Burton. He has that kind of tragic style of storytelling, because another one of my favorite kind of stories is Edward Scissorhands. I find that so incredible, the way that he was able to capture this kind of suburbia where people are just stuck in this routine and bubble, and those kind of films. It's the same with Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's set in this kind of suburbia that doesn't appreciate people with creative thinking, and it's very just, it causes all these kind of problems and that kind of thing. But there's another movie called Elephant. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, by Gus Van Sant. And his style of filming is just, the Elephant is haunting. It's one of those things that there's hardly any dialogue. And it's basically a retelling / dramatic kind of feature of the Columbine shooting at the high school.
Oh wow, right.
But it's haunting because there's hardly any dialogue. It's all just through looks, and it's almost got this kind of early reality TV kind of look to it.
Okay.
It's just following these real people around, and then obviously it culminates into this huge, tragic event that happened. But any kind of story, I guess the storytellers that go, I'm kind of cancelling myself out because I'm talking about Tim Burton and then I'm saying, realistic kind of stuff. But you've got this, whereas Tim Burton kind of makes fun of reality.
I think there's also even in Tim Burton stuff, there is a realism and an authenticity.
Yeah,
I guess, like, even though Edward Scissorhands is a bit, of an extreme character, it's a character that people can identify with as, not fitting in, and this suburban life is kind of suffocating, or they're looking for something more outside of it. That feeling of a tragic figure within a real world.
Yeah, an outsider,
Yeah, and he does that kind of putting something unreal in reality. So like with like Beetlejuice as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just
yes.
Apart from that one fucked up house.
Yeah.
The rest of
Yeah.
the rest of their
Yeah,
town is
exactly.
completely normal.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of
Mhm.
thing that he does well.
And I think it's a thing of
Yeah.
as well. I've talked a lot recently about theme in story and what a story is actually really about. And Edward Scissorhands isn't about a guy with scissors for hands. It's about an outsider trying to fit in or someone trying to
Mhm.
find their place. And Beetlejuice isn't about Michael Keaton being all crazy and shit. It's about
Gina Davis.
It's about
Yes.
family and connection, and to be able to do such a real theme that people connect with in that wacky kind of way,
Yeah.
I think is really clever. And I guess one of his strengths as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to do it
yeah, he
all
shines a light on that.
with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter is just
Yeah.
all of that with just two
Yeah,
people is
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I highly recommend if you want to. Yeah, I recommend that you guys watch Elephant by Gus Van Sant. It'll
Right.
definitely,
Okay.
have a good, profound impact. Let's say.
Good. Every interview so far has continued to add to our
Yep.
to be watched list. So that's
Collection.
Yep.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Leigh, we obviously
Yeah.
we went and watched your film Sacrifice as part of Pride's Short Film Fest recently. And got to chat with you about it then. I think, we spoke at the time. It's a great film, very touching, very heartfelt, and I think that one thing we spoke about was just kind of how you came to make that movie and capture it so authentically. So I guess for the listeners that weren't there, just kind of how did you come up with that kind of theme and capture all those stories?
Yeah, I think that, it goes back to wanting stories that, I mean, a large part of it for me and why I'm still continuing to, develop the story itself into a full length story, is just having stories that we never had as growing up, or that I had growing up. So I never saw these and I love stories, as I was saying, Titanic or Pearl Harbor, and I think that, Sacrifice is probably in the more vein of Pearl Harbor than it is, Sacrifice is that military theme. But also for me, one of the biggest things was I wanted it to be real people, because I think that when it's come to, especially gay men on screen, the stories have always gone for either let's really shock people and let's really just put it in their face, in terms of one of the shows watching growing up was Queer as Folk, and that was groundbreaking back in the day. That was it was incredible. I still watch it, just for the performances and for how it was out there. And so you get that hugely sexualized, you got a hugely sexualized version of gay men in cinema and TV. Or you went the opposite way and you would get, an asexual kind of picture. And as much as I do love, Modern Family, and that was again groundbreaking for in particular gay men. They were a couple that you would never see be really intimate, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then in the third vein or sense, you would have the forbidden, can't talk about it. It's so forbidden, and it's against, I was watching a military movie just last night called Firebird. And that is all about, I mean, that's in the Russian army, so, fair enough. But I mean,
It's the whole other layer to that. Yeah.
The whole other layer. So for Sacrifice, and that's my hope with the feature especially, and the short, it was just two men that were in love, and my character has a sense of humor and has that kind of, I guess, Modern Family-esque vibe about him. And then you've got, Blake, who is a soldier who is not in your face, but it's just a chance for people to actually see, and the way that I want them to come across, just a real couple. And, without any of those three kind of, I guess there's kind of an element of all three of them, in there. But again, it's just a couple that people can look at it and go, I love, they're just two people in love. It's not, oh, they're two men in love, or they're two gay men in love. It's they're just two people in love.
Yeah,
and
I
I
guess
think
that's
that whilst,
it's a universal
yeah,
connection thing again. And we talked
exactly.
last week, we reviewed Fire Island, which screams
Mm-hmm.
like stereotypical gay
Stereotypes,
stuff. But
yeah.
one of the things we talked about as a strength of the movie is that the problems of the characters in that movie aren't gay problems.
Yep.
It's wanting to find love and wanting to spend time with your friends
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to find, your place in all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
similarly in Sacrifice, the,
Mm-hmm.
problems faced by the characters are moving in together, settling into, this is one person's life, this is another person's life, and how do those
Mm-hmm.
two things kind of work together, which are universal struggles that
Exactly.
anyone in any relationship
Yeah.
faces.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And so I think
the
that, you just,
military, the military couple added on to that.
yeah, exactly. And I think the military thing, I think it kind of brings in that nice, I guess, tiny element of the forbidden
Mm.
element, or not forbidden, but kind of, because it was forbidden. But it's said, it's just that kind of sense um, of duty and being torn apart. And I think that's why the military lends it so well to this story. It's not really Blake's love for James that he struggles with. It's his sense of duty and trying to meet that, just as you would in any relationship. And I've met couples in the military, both straight and gay, and they said, kind of that kind of energy and those feelings that you see, and even just in that short film, they said it's so you've nailed it, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's that feeling and that kind of thing. So as I said, it's just a chance for people to, I want to create a story in a couple that people can love as much as your Jack and Roses from Titanic, and all those kind of stories, and not see gender or sexuality. They just see human.
Yeah.
Love
That
is
seems
love.
to be like
Not to be cliche again.
Yeah. That seems to be like a common
Bring out
thing.
another one.
Yeah, when we talk to people about making queer movies, and we've spoken about it a bit when we have reviewed queer movies, the ones that are kind of the most impactful are just ones where being gay is just a fact, and it's just in the movie, and it's just because for a while a lot of the representation, at least in kind of mainstream movies, were a traumatic coming out story, or Philadelphia, or Brokeback Mountain.
Yes,
and
exactly.
It's like,
Brokeback Mountain.
and it was a big kind of coming to terms with something,
or if it wasn't the tragic thing, it was the camp gay best friend thing. Whereas
it's
side
just
support act.
yeah. So it's just like the fact that in your film this couple is a gay couple isn't the ultimately what the movie is about. It's just they happen to be a gay couple.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what you want people to take away. And I think that's not that we don't want to give it away for people that haven't seen it, but that's what's so, heart-wrenching about the kind of turn of events and how it transpires.
Yeah, and I
towards
think
the end.
and I think it does touch on the kind of Australian history of gays in the military, and our kind of version of don't ask, don't tell, if you will, which is more widely known. And I think that's what it does well as well, is kind of educate a little bit as well, because that history is probably not something that a lot of people know about.
No. Well, funnily enough, at the film festival, I met someone outside who came up to me and said that is exactly what happened to me.
Oh, really?
When he read the kind of he told me all about it. And I had when the film was released on Amazon and all that kind of thing, and into the streaming world, I had a lot of messages through the social media of people who from the Australian military who had that story, and they're like, you've exactly right what you've said. is exactly what happened. And
Yeah.
we were, we didn't have a job history. We couldn't get work because people are like, well, you've been unemployed for all this time. And they're like, well,
Yeah.
no, my history's just been erased.
Yeah.
Mm.
How does that
So,
feel as a filmmaker? Obviously, that there's the intent behind making the film that this makes that
mm,
connection. How does it feel to hear those first-hand stories, essentially affirming what you set out to
yeah,
do?
it's something that I've never taken for granted. And I think that when you first write something like this, I mean, I don't want to say I got lucky, but obviously doing a short film, you don't have those resources. And now I've obviously got a lot more resources and stuff for the feature. But back then it was you'd read the stories, you'd read it from books and stuff, but it wasn't until you actually made a human connection with these individuals who have actually lived it. And I actually went to a um, Pride of Defence exhibit that was at the memorial about 2 years ago, and I actually went with the vice president of Deafglis is the defence, I guess, branch of the
Yep.
defence force. It's not actually officially part of the military, but it's we marched with them in Mardi Gras
Oh,
when
yeah.
the short came out. It was a great experience,
Mhm.
and they're just like that I think the thing that always resonates is the gratitude that they have um,
Mhm.
in
Yep.
saying thank you for telling our story, and the more couples you meet through the military and from all different I think there was always this. They also said there's this huge impression that soldiers just get with soldiers.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. But I met this great couple, and she was like, well, my partner's she was a wedding dress designer.
Yeah.
She
Right.
wasn't anywhere in the military, but for some reason everyone says, "Oh, so where did you guys meet in the military?" And she's like, "Oh, we did. She designs wedding dresses,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I run a warship." So
Yeah. Right.
it was so interesting, and just their gratitude, and that's something that kind of spurs me on as the journey continues to develop. And yeah, you never take that for granted, really.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it really, yeah. Well, to answer your question, there's no really way to describe, how much it means to you once you get that out there. So, yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah, real. Yeah.
How's the process been changing what I assume when you wrote it as a short, you wrote as a fully
Mm,
contained story? How's the process been to
hmm
extend that and expand that to become a feature?
Years. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been. I've got no. Yeah, I'm thinning. I'm balding. No. It's been. Oh, I don't think there's really a word. It's a long journey, but it's gratifying. But I think that the good thing has been able to expand the story, and you can bring in so many different elements. So one of the other big elements has been the mental health side
Mm.
of the military, and bringing that interweaving that through this story,
Mm.
and making that kind of the reason why the I guess the homosexuality side of it is a challenge. It's got nothing to do with prejudice, really. It's more that these in some cases these characters are so damaged from what they've experienced in their service that they can't comprehend it. It's got nothing to do with, oh, two men shouldn't be together. It's more of, I can't, my mind can't handle this, because
Mm.
this is what have I, given everything for. And again,
Mm.
those stories, the the I guess the more full on stories have been intense, but I've loved being able to create their families. And I
Yeah.
think that has been the favourite thing for me. You've got
Mm.
obviously the really hard family of the military, but then you've got my character James's family, who the mum is quite out there, and she's they're kind of wealthy, and she's just, she's got no filter, and she's just a lot of fun.
Right.
And then, so the military, Blake doesn't really understand. I'm not really sure how to take this. So then you get this kind of really fun dynamic. So there's a lot more lighthearted, I guess, moments in the feature. And I think that, especially with the short, I think you only get like one or two. So it's good to have a lot more of that.
Yeah, and to flesh everything out,
exactly.
and to get a lot more depth and I guess connection in all of those areas.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
And it's very exciting. It is just it's an upward battle in the industry, as they say, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yep. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Shall we completely change tack and talk about our topic of the month?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, this is wild. Yeah, okay, go.
It is a complete change of tack. Well, normally we kind of wrap up our chat about our guest with a what's coming up next, but obviously Sacrifice the Feature is what's coming up next for you, and I assume is all-consuming at the moment.
Exactly right.
So that ticks that box. We will put a link to some places that people can watch Sacrifice in our episode description and in our notes, because it is a great film that we really enjoyed as part of the festival. So, we'll make sure people can find that out there. But our topic of the month, it's about month 4 that we've been doing topics, and each one's got a little bit more weird.
Yep.
Sandwiched, I'm going to say. We can sandwich it in there. We came up with this because it's October, it's Halloween month.
Yeah.
We wanted to watch something scary.
What happens in Halloween, Lee?
Death.
People die. And where do they sometimes die?
Well, in the 50th anniversary film Jaws, they die in or near the water.
In or near water. So our topic is movies about death or murder in or around water.
Yep.
Lee, does anything come to mind?
So, no, I actually love this topic because there are so many things I think of. So, Jaws obviously was brilliant because, as they say, you had a villain with just 2 notes, and you never really saw him for the whole film. So, the brilliance of this, my dad always my auntie, who's twin with my dad, always used to say after she saw Jaws, she couldn't walk across a drain because she was scared that Jaws was going to come out. But one of the movies that I thought, when you gave me this topic, was that it's very camp, it's very brilliant, it's very just the best thing to watch. Lake Placid.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That came up on my
You know that one?
Yeah.
With the
crocodile.
Yeah.
That's the crocodile version of Jaws, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's what they were going for.
That's what they were
But they're not Steven Spielberg and John Williams. So it doesn't quite make it.
Yeah. That's all about Betty White in that movie for me.
Oh,
she's just the
there you go.
the lady.
That's on the
who
list.
lives there. So, but yeah, Lake Placid, and I think the other one, it's another shark one, and it's probably a bit contentious given what's going on in the media. But The Shallows with Blake Lively.
Oh,
and the sharks just stalking her.
I think I remember that. She's
thing.
on a surfboard.
Surfboard,
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that, and it was meant to be like, wow, she's amazing. And then I don't think anybody really ever watched it.
Oh.
No, exactly.
Is she amazing?
Well, we'll find out in court. I think. I think that's what's going on at the moment, isn't it?
Do you think Blake Lively's best performance could be a bit like Amber Heard's best performance was in court?
Hopefully better than that. I don't know. Amber Heard didn't have Taylor Swift as one of her people.
Well, yeah, there you go.
No, those are good ones.
I think it's a really interesting topic as a horror thing. I think a lot of those films use the water as a device. And I think, because I think there's something scary about water.
Well, because you can't get out, like Titanic.
Yeah.
They're stuck there.
Yeah.
When there's
Yeah.
so much unknown. I love, I wish I could remember the number, but there's, people say we've explored more of our solar system than we have of our
Oh,
oceans.
Yeah, that's what
Like
they said when those people were
Mhm.
down in that submarine.
the ones that didn't come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Or
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
that's a horror story right there.
There you go.
That's one of my favorite graphs that I've ever seen in meme form. Is the graph of deaths related to the Titanic, and there's a huge spike at 1912, and it's a flat line until 2023 or whatever it is. It's just like little blip there. But yeah, that
Yeah.
unknown thing of, it's similar. It's that's kind of afraid of the dark thing taken to a whole nother level, because on some level, if you've seen that place in the light, you know what it is, even when it's dark. But if you're out in the middle of the
Yeah.
ocean and you hear a double bass suddenly play, you're like, well, I don't know what the fuck is around me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a crocodile.
And you've got to have that element of night most of the time if they're doing death by water. Like night is usually, needed.
Well, it is even in those lake ones, like
Friday the 13th.
Like Friday the 13th, even though that's at the summer camp. The lake plays a part in that, that's one, I guess, avenue of escape that's taken away as well. One less direction you can run. And there's always a pier in the lake.
Oh, yeah.
It's like running upstairs in a house in a slasher film. They always, for some reason, run to the end of the pier and then go, oh shit, the pier has ended.
There's a lake there. Oh.
Now what? Like, oh, I've gotten to the roof of this building. Oh, now there's a roof and I'm fucked.
It's watching where somebody else was caught. It was Grey's Anatomy.
Oh.
There was a fire and she had to go up and she got to the roof and then she couldn't get down from the roof.
Because everything was on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was, I don't know why that popped in, but anyway.
That could be your next topic.
Yeah.
Roof.
People
fire,
stuck on roofs.
Building fires. Roofs, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Vertigo.
You get a few. Get a few.
He's on a roof in Vertigo. That's what gives him vertigo in the start of the movie.
That's true.
Because he almost falls off a roof.
Nice.
I won't get. I was starting to think of roof movies, but we're talking about water movies.
Water movies.
One water one that I've watched once.
Sharknado.
Well, does that count?
Oh, Sharknado.
There's plenty of deaths, and there's water all around them. Well, actually,
that's true.
Yeah, because remember that bit where they're trying to drive, and it's so shit.
And the flood comes.
The flood comes, and then there's different sized. A shark changes size as it swims past them.
Yeah. I guess that because the tornado happens over water and sucks the sharks up.
Yeah, and then they're in a pool,
floods.
and then the shark then goes into the pool.
Oh, because it flies out of the
tornado into the pool.
Is that a retirement village?
I think so.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
So we're adding Sharknado to the list, are we?
We have to.
Great.
Jeez. Something similarly low budget, but accidentally bad one that I thought of was Anaconda.
Oh yes.
You're doing
I watched that once.
J-Lo and the Amazon.
They're doing a making of
reboot.
like movie of Anaconda.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Paul Rudd and Jack Black
go
to remake Anaconda.
Okay.
And
it looks hilarious. Like I love them.
Into Anaconda.
Okay.
It's like Tropic Thunder, but you know what it's like?
Yes. Real movie.
They're making a movie, but then they're actually in the jungle fighting people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the sense I got. At the start of it, I thought it was fake. I was watching this. My friend sent it to me. I was watching this trailer, going like, "Is this an SNL skit?
Or is this AI? Is this some deep fake thing?"
And then it went on for way too long to not be fake.
Okay, so that will fit in
maybe
death on or near the water.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. The one I was going to say.
Okay, cool.
It's the same author as the novel Jaws, which is The Deep, which was made a couple of years after Jaws, but again, not by Steven Spielberg. And it's a giant squid.
Oh,
yeah.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, I've seen it only once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another death on or near the water.
Nice.
So they really kind of used the creature features for water. Like
Yeah.
they did Orca as well, and they did, Deep Blue Sea. They kind of really tapped into
Yeah.
There was an
to the
Australian one
creature
about
feature.
a crocodile as well.
There was.
I can't remember. I reckon we went and saw it in the cinema, and I can't remember, but it was also like the crocodile was ridiculously big. Like, come on.
Almost like that mega one.
Oh, the Meg.
The Meg.
Megalodon.
The Meg.
That's it.
Meg.
Meg with Jason Statham.
That's right.
It's terrible.
What about your other one that you mentioned when we mentioned Sharknado, Zombievers?
Zombievers. Yeah,
Because they
Oh,
will
God.
be making a dam for the water.
they will. That is a great movie. If you love Sharknado, you'll love Zombievers. It's worse than Sharknado.
Maybe we save them though.
There's also
Because,
Croctopus.
oh,
Is that a
I
thing?
know Croctopus.
Croctopus, yeah.
Okay. I think we're going to
Well,
need
my
another
to
category.
watch list is growing.
Well, I think we need another category for those ones because like Sharknado Zombievers also goes like with Cocaine Bear, where they just make like ridiculous animal movies.
Yeah.
But Cocaine Bear, there's no water in it, so it doesn't fit with this one.
No, but he does. They do get stuck on a roof.
No.
They do get stuck on a roof, so there's that. There's all these connections.
Great.
What I haven't thought of, and I don't know if anything comes to your mind, Lee, but something death on or near water that has a
Mhm.
queer element to it. I haven't been able to
Oh,
think.
God, now you're kind of
There was
putting me on the spot.
one that we already did. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. There's no water in that, is there?
There's a pool. There is
Of
that
course
bit
there's a pool.
where he boils the pool.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the best bit. Oh,
The best bit of
No,
near
I
the water.
can't actually think of like,
we'll
yeah.
have to dig deeper on that one.
Well, once you're done with
Yeah.
sacrifice, there's another gap for you.
There you go.
A queer on the dead,
A queer-
a queer in the water,
Death on or near the water.
death.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. Death. All right,
Yeah.
that's I could pop that down.
What about Speed 2 Cruise Control?
No.
No?
I mean,
You
okay,
just
can I
don't
just
want-
Wait,
say
as
that
being
theme
death on the
song
water
track?
or
Death on the
gay?
water, not gay, but Death on the Water, Speed 2 Cruise Control.
I mean, there
Oh.
was death in it, and a theme song that just completely had no
Yeah.
relevance to the story, but
As well as Jason
big
Patrick
love
not really
ballad.
having
Yes.
any relevance to the story.
No Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
I just love that Keanu Reeves read the script and, was kind of like, are you kidding me with this? He was like, no.
No, I'm good.
No.
I'll take a
Yeah,
year off.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but poor
I love-
Sandra, I mean, she
Yeah.
got in there.
Good on her.
Thank God for the
Yeah.
one thing that carried the movie. That's the one where
Yeah,
they
exactly.
crash and the ship rings the bell
Yeah, right at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Goes through the whole town.
Yeah.
on a pier.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crashes
Yeah.
the pier.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say something about Keanu Reeves. Oh, yeah. That Keanu Reeves, like some of the things he turns down and then he does. Like, I love that he's not wanted anything to do with the MCU, but somehow I saw a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 the other day, and I'm like, that voice sounds familiar. And it was Keanu Reeves playing one of
Keanu
the
Reeves.
hedgehogs. Like, he won't have anything to
Yeah.
do with the MCU, despite the millions and millions of dollars
Yeah.
they wanted to get him in there. And then he's like,
Give him.
no, I'll take like SAG minimum to do Sonic.
Great.
Yeah.
He could have been Doctor Strange.
I would have rather
Yeah.
been Doctor Strange.
Oh,
than
yeah, he would have been a good
Benedict
Doctor Strange.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I can't see him as any other Marvel character.
Probably not.
Please note that I have not seen them all. So
Brett's only halfway through the MCU.
I'm only
For
halfway.
anybody that's paying attention.
Yep. I haven't watched any since I last mentioned it.
Well, okay, so Death on or near the water. We'll need to put that out to the listeners to help
love
us come up with a queer death on or near the water story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I can't think of anything
Mm,
either.
No.
There's not even like
we'll
a
dig deeper.
there's not even like a gay side character in Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Don't think so.
And that was
No.
like the era of
No.
the beginning of a bit of gay
Mm.
side characters.
Well, it started to increase, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
We shall research.
Yeah, definitely can. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
All
Keep
right,
me
yeah.
posted.
Yep. We will in our episode that's going to be released next week. So, Leigh, before we wrap up, this is
Yep.
your little section to plug yourself stupid. That's a terrible term.
Yep.
I'm apologizing for that term, and I'm never going
I
to
was
say
gonna
it again.
that is I was going to say, all right.
This is
different
your
way it was
opportunity
What have you got to plug?
for shameless self-promotion.
No, I think that I don't really have anything aside from sacrifice. I think that if we can just get your listeners behind the story and watching the short, as you said, keeping the momentum going, and we've got really great support behind us. So Sacrifice Film on Instagram, Sacrifice Film on Facebook. And obviously IMDb, and just get behind the cast and crew. We've got some amazing people attached. So yeah, we can't wait to bring you the full length feature and story.
Yeah,
Right,
it'll be
looking forward
great.
to it.
That's really what I've got.
Yeah, and then once it is out, we'd like an invitation to the red carpet.
Absolutely done. I'll make a note of it right away.
We are. I'm going to say it again, and Leigh's been to Disney, so I think this is a good person to say it to. We are manifesting being on the red carpet at the 100th Oscars.
Done.
Sacrifice will be
Please
there.
let the manifestation come true.
We thought it was 2028, but the Academy, when they're doing their stunt Oscars, they've said it's going to be in 2027 at the 100th Oscars.
No, that's incorrect.
So we may have been robbed of a year of manifesting.
Well, I disagree.
Well, I think it's up to the Academy to say when it's the 100th Oscars.
Well, when I become president of the Academy,
all right, that's a slightly bigger manifestation that we won't have
having
time
no
for
involvement in
this episode.
history.
Leigh Smith, thank you for being on the Rainbow Popcorn podcast. You're now a member of the
Thank
Rainbow
you, guys.
Popcorn Movie Club, and it's great
Love it.
to have you. Enjoy the rest of your vodka lime soda.
I will.
And we look
Indeed.
forward to seeing the full length of Sacrifice soon. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Leigh.
Watch this space. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks,
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. If you want to let us know some movies, death on or near the water, particularly with a queer bent, then get in touch with us on the socials or join the Rainbow Popcorn Movie Club Facebook group. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Leigh.